What up, guys? So I'm now on camera. So Ascension released their fucking season 8 thing. So I was watching it on my phone and then decided, you know what? Let's have a reaction to it because it's full of garbage that makes no sense. So let me just, when this decides to load, shut up, shut up. Back to the start you go, you piece of shit. Bear in mind they're on a new YouTube account because their other one got taken down. Well done. That's all I have to say. So, Season 8 is coming soon. This video is pretty new. Now, bit of context. I am a devoted Area 52 player. I have played since it released in 2017. 16? 17. 17. Yeah, 17, I think. Right? Beta, right? First day I logged in and started playing. The history of Ascension has had a tendency to pull people away from that main realm. Back when it used to be called Underhall, and then they changed it to called Jaden, and changed it again to Area 52 because people's add-ons decided they wanted to fuck around with people's add-ons. But that's a different story. They've done seasonals and they've done leagues. Now, leagues make sense, right? Leagues are fast-paced to get people up to the point. You know, they're more popular in TBC. I think they should be in TBC. Leagues still have a point. They're fast-paced. They're really quick. The progression cycle is insanely speedy. You know, you get left behind. You don't get bored. It has a purpose. It's testing stuff and getting people up to TBC level, which makes sense. It's a good point. Bear in mind that I'm having a monster. Right, seasonals no longer have a place. They are too long and too stretched out, and the reasoning is money. You can very clearly see that it is based off money, because in every single seasonal video they've ever done, they've had new stuff that's come out few days after the videos come out that is now on the store for absurd amounts of money, or have previously been on the store that new people might not have seen. Hence a lot of the T-Mogs and the appearances in this video. They have been on the store for years. So that's my main issue, is it's very clearly after the first few months, it turns into a money grab. And obviously, I don't think I'm going to be allowed to say this because Ascension won't like me for saying it, but that is wrong. Rather than pushing for money in a season, add new stuff to the store that people will want to buy for cheap. Back in the old days, right, old days, REs didn't exist, like the RE extracts, or that kind of thing, or the orbs didn't exist, the RE collection didn't exist. All you did is have runes and you rolled on the gear you had. Right? If you wanted to change specs, there was no way of changing specs. There was no scrolls, there was no resets. Right? Other than on the store. That had a purpose. Obviously, if you didn't pick a spec, you then had to spend God knows how much money, either in-game with in-game gold, or from the store, IR gold, changing your spec around. That was a bit flawed. It needed to have access in-game. They added that. Great. Fantastic. The issue is, right, is that on the store there is nothing I want to buy other than presets, so Mystic presets, so I can change my REs out without having to worry about fucking gear. And in general, things that are unique. So alphas, I bought the TBC one, I got the Wrath one, and I got the Conquest one. All because they have extra goodies inside those things. Right? So TBC one had unlimited 22 slot bags for a reason. So now all of my characters have a bank and character full of 22 slot bags. Wrath one only had 30s. Same with Conquests. Because people were abusing the TBC one. That's a different story. So add stuff to the store that people will actually want to buy, like the 22 slot bags, the 30 slot bags, right? That aren't 30 DP. Right? You can get 20 slot bags in game, right? So I don't know why you're selling 12 slots. I don't know why you're selling, like, put a 22 slot on as the first bag, 25 or 28, right? And then 30, right? 5, 10, 15. Everyone will buy them. I would buy them. I would put in during triple DP about 50 to get those bags, those 30 slots, because when you've been playing as long as I have, you had a lot of shit in your bank. So I would put in as many as I can, right? Now, onto this video. Now, I am going to be a little bit cynical, bearing in mind that I'm pretty much an exclusively Area 52 player. Take it with a pinch of salt, what I'm going to say, but it is the majority of the feeling of the majority of the guild and people that I play with. So I will go into that further detail, but let's just sit and watch and enjoy the video. It's cool.
To the adventurers of Azeroth, to heroes of far-off realms, to anyone desperate to cast off their chains and unleash their potential, this adventure is for you. An adventure born from the culmination of everything that came before it. The foundations have been laid through the flames of determination to unleash your creativity in every way you've ever imagined. Your desire for adventure burns stronger than ever, and in Season 8, that fire is unleashed. New Worldforge enchants demand exploration. New masteries unlock. New power is yours to command. New abilities yours to wield. The world is revitalized, rekindling dungeons, raids, and breathing new life into the world. A world that will test your mettle as much as sate your bloodlust. Storm into Azeroth in Ascension's biggest season ever. Your potential is unleashed, and the very...
Just going to pause it there. A lot of that garbage they've said for every other season before. Other than, you know, all of the worldy stuff. Like, ooh, you've explored the world. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of the game. Every single season they've gone, oh, this is our biggest season yet. Well, yes, it is, because you're doing more things.
Elements themselves are yours to control. Welcome to Season 8.
Cool logo, though. I have to admit, that is a nice logo.
Join us on Ascension's biggest season ever. A fresh seasonal realm where you'll begin your adventure with tens of thousands of other players all at once.
You mean like 400 people? So they're not that populated.
Progressing through expansions as you experience the greatest adventure in Azeroth yet from start to finish. On Season 8, Ascension is unleashed. More exploration, more adventure, more choice. It's the culmination.
More choice? Do you know your own game?
Of 7 years worth of efforts to let you forge your classless hero. This season is the greatest opportunity for new heroes and veterans alike to unleash their potential on Ascension. You get to...
Sorry, but if you're a veteran and you haven't unleashed your potential after 4 years, I'm worried about you. I do what I want to do in-game. I've played all I can. I picked a spec and I love it, and I will always play that spec until it gets absolutely decimated. Like my healer spec recently did. But yeah, if you're a vet, you should have unleashed the majority of your potential by 4 years.
Do it all. Explore the open world and unlock the power of gods through new Worldforge enchantments. Harness new...
So the thing we've been asking for 2 years, you finally release it on a seasonal, so Area 52 people have to wait 2 years?
Ways to sway the hands of fate. Enchantments. Harness new ways to sway the...
What? So not only have you added the draft part, which was really fun to begin with when you didn't have Hands of Fate, and all you did is just build a spec randomly, right? So all you did is you just built a spec randomly, whether you did it with the cards or just random skills, right? I much preferred the cards because then you had a choice, right? So wildcard was so much better than whatever this now system is. The issue with this, right, is it's literally just Area 52 free pick with extra steps. So with this, you have to do content to be able to make your spec, when you could just make your spec on Area 52. See my point? If you're having to spend 375s Marks of Ascension, which isn't easy to come by, bearing in mind, it's not like it's just there. You might have to do it daily, but that's still content you have to do to get there. It makes no sense. Hand of Fate randomly draws 3 abilities from your current specialization and gives you the option to redraft one of them, right? But if you can sway it so it gives you stuff that's actually related to your spec, or you can pick one of them, that is broken, that is free pick. That is just lazy free pick. If you can't make a spec on free pick, then don't play Ascension. Seasonal is not Ascension. Free pick is Ascension. Seasonal is this fun thing where they get to test new things out, right? Like all these world enchants they're going to add. Down. But Seasonal is designed to test stuff, make sure things work in their current system on their client, right? So like summoning a fuck ton of imps. They need to test that. They're not going to do it on their main realm on Area 52 where people's characters have been for 4 years, are they? They're not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, let's test stuff on the main realm. No, they would never do that. They understand that I don't want my character to get deleted. It's the reason why they take more than 10 hours. Bearing in mind they didn't say a start time, they didn't say an end time, they said at least 10 hours. It was down for like 14. Bearing in mind it didn't have a start time. I'm salty, yes, we were in mid-raid when it happened, the most recent maintenance. People will know, right? There is a reason why people's data and maintenance takes so long, right? It's because they don't want to fuck around with people's data and break it. Makes sense. So they have a seasonal. Stop trying to make seasonal free pick. Make seasonal random, truly random. So people actually have to learn the game to play it. And then when you come over to free pick, you're like, oh yeah, no one plays the same spec here like I thought they did. Because that's the problem right now, is people on seasonal who all play the same fucking spec, right? They just have different skills in that side of, for example, Festering Wounds. They'll all have Mutilate because they can pretty much pick it, right? Or manipulate the game to pick it for them, right? Or they can do Prestiging to the point where they've got it, boom, they have a spec. They have to do a lot of content, but it's just extra steps to just picking it that you can do on fucking Area 52. I don't understand this free pick, this seasonal mentality that free pick is dull. Every person that I play with, right, in the Flex team and the Ascended team, even when they join us, barely anyone has the same spec. Barely anyone. There's like 3 people that have the same spec, and most of them are healers. And that's because healers are the least diverse role right now in the game. Because there's so little balance that they can actually do because they don't understand how healers work. Plus the fact they keep trying to make hybrid healers that either do damage or do tanky shit or do other stuff, right, other than heal, like Atonement, for example. Doing damage and healing, great, right? That fits with the WoW narrative and lore, right? Discipline has always been kind of an in-between of damage and heal, right? But trying to mix Shaman and Mage, or Rogue and Mage, or Druid and Warrior, don't work. Shit like that just doesn't work. It doesn't fit. This Hand of Fate stuff has really put me off seasonal with a passion, because I loved the randomness of seasonal. I loved it. It was fun. It was enjoyable. But now this, no.
Of Fate, master new spells and abilities, tame the elements, delve into revitalized dungeons and mythic raids, discover incredible new craftables, and engage in the most cutthroat battles for conquest and glory in high-risk PvP. And that is just half of the first of Season 8's 4 chapters. Every enhancement is designed to unleash your potential, and you'll be the first to reap the rewards of a world unleashed. Season 8 is the result of Ascension's ultimate goal: to unlock your potential, discover your build, and forge your fantasy classless hero in the world that you love. Join us now.
It's not classless anymore. It's not. Anyone saying it is stupid. You have an LRE, I'm going to rip into them. You have an LRE that defines your spec, right? That is now your spec. That is your class. If you play Festering Wounds, you're only going to ever be interested in stuff that plays around Festering Wounds, right? Or Deadly Bite, right? You're not going to be interested in all the shit that's going on, right? There is no sense of saying it's classless because your LRE is so determining your spec. It's not like Spellslinger back in the day where you could pick anything and it would work, right? I played in Vanilla. Vanilla, excellent idea. right? Everything was, you could pick anything and things would work. If you wanted to play a more specific thing, you had the option in LREs. Now, the more generic stuff like Spellslinger, Death, whatever the fuck it's called, the Healy damage one, right? The Nature Overloaded or whatever, they're all shit. Right? I think it's only Purification by Light that's any good, and now it's kind of meh. Because they added absurd internal cooldowns to it and reduced the damage of them. Yeah, they're overpowered, but you don't need to add an internal cooldown to shit. That just makes them unplayable. Right? And then on seasonal, like the Season 7, you have people abusing epics and legendaries to get stats out. Like the Mana Fiend and the Mana Forge Barrier. Like, you can't say it's classless when people are playing a class. Yes, it's not the WoW-based classes, like Warrior, Mage, Druid, Hunter. But that's the game you have. You have classes in-game. They're all based off LREs. Because you can't broaden your horizons when you're looking at things like Festering Wounds or Deadly Bite or... what the hell's the Paladin one called? I don't know. Don't play Paladin. But, like, you can't, for example, go Druid Tank or Bear Tank, right, with Nature's Fury, or Carnage, or the Shadow one, and be picking stuff in Hunter. Just doesn't work. Whereas what you used to be able to do is pick anything you like in Hunter as a bear. Yes, it would get popped out of bear form, there are limitations because it's WoW. But you can still pick it and it'll still work in the spec, right? You could pick up traps. You shouldn't, because it made no sense. You'd get popped out of bear form and die. But you could. Now, there's no reason to, because the LRE forces you to pick certain things. There's a reason why I don't like the game now compared to what it used to be, because you have 90% of these REs that basically tell you what to do, and they're not right. Like, Evoker, the best way to play Evoker, right, is just spam Frostbolt and Deep Freeze. Right, and occasionally use those other things to gain the benefit. Whereas a lot of people seem to think that, oh, I need to spam Arcane Missiles and Fireball and use them. You don't really need to use them that much. Right? You just don't. You just need to use it to get rid of the debuff so it stacks up again. Right? It's not mandatory that you use it whenever it comes up. It's actually better if you don't. We're at the point where things like, you know, Twilight Paragon and things are destroying the meters, but that's because they've been made to destroy the meters. They're not in balance with everything else. And that's the problem.
We cover the new features in detail so that you'll be equipped to proceed forward. Season 8 is an adventure to explore your unbound potential and harness it, using it to defeat challenges known and unknown. And as you unleash your build's true power, you'll use it to overcome trials and find there's still more to discover. And that the nostalgic world you love holds more potential than you ever imagined.
Because everyone had 10 characters because they lasted forever.
Ascension has grown larger than ever. League 3 and Season 7 both set records for highest population for their respective game modes. And that means there's an exceptional demand for both game modes on Ascension. In Season 8, you won't have to wait to play your favorite game mode with many of the new features and a bigger population. Season 8 brings many of the features in this video to free pick, so you can enjoy the new updates with a bigger population and whichever game mode you prefer. For heroes interested in playing on both realms, there will be a vanity sync option available. So if you unlock something on free pick, you'll have it on draft and vice versa. This lets you enjoy either realm at any time, knowing your collection will follow you. Azeroth is rife with incredible places to see and explore, but over time, we've uncovered many of the hidden secrets that make the adventure so grand. World-Forged enchantments arrive on Season 8 to reinvigorate the thrill of exploration.
Bit of an issue with this one. I'm not going to watch it all because it's half an hour and I haven't got half an hour. The world enchantments are a great idea. They've been needed for a while. You know, unique stuff to get you into the world, especially in high risk and seasonal when people just sit in Orgrimmar or Stormwind and do nothing all day. and just
every
queue,
location you explore is a chance
Part of
to
the reason why I don't like the queue for dungeons. Get rid of that shit, get rid of the teleport, make people run. You could even make people run in high risk if you felt like it. But just get rid of that shit. It's awful. The reason why these are a good idea, gets people out in the world. Excellent. My only concern is that ones that, for example, that one, Ragefire Cleave, probably comes from Ragefire Dungeon, right? The one in Orgrimmar. How are Alliance people going to get there? 2, is that possible to move around the world? Like have a spawn location and rotate? Because some of them don't look particularly set in stone or where they can drop. Can they hop around the world? Could they maybe appear in different raids at different times, or the same raid at the same time? So like you get in a raid, one drops, everyone gets it, or is it an individual item? And if it drops there, does it drop somewhere else outside the world? Can you get it in raid and outside of raid? Can you get in a dungeon, in a raid, and outside of instances? Is it possible to do any of that? Right? Will these work? Will it drop them properly? Will you learn it properly? Will it sync across all your characters properly, or is it character specific? Because then you could just sit a character where they drop, if you have like a full account, and just activate it and use them all. It should be character specific, in my mind, but I don't know. But you know, they need to be somewhere, and actually be a challenge after 6 months, a year. Because if they're not, then that's going to get dull. Then all of this hype and stuff in this video is just going to get ruined in 6 months. Because everyone's going to have people on the wiki, people on in private discords. We'll just have a location for all of these enchants, and you just go get it. That looks cool.
Something amazing and new that you've never seen before, potentially transforming your hero and changing the entire way you play, if you choose to harness it. This means that your exploration could unlock new build paths along your journey, making it more rewarding and worthwhile than ever before. If you want to obtain these powerful world-forged enchantments, you'll have to discover them yourself. Explore the world and find hidden enchantments scattered throughout Azeroth. You'll find them in dungeons, raids, chests from creatures, hidden merchants, quest chains, and more. World-forged enchantments are not tradable. Everyone can't just go to the auction house to search up the world-forged enchantment and copy you. This means that enchantments you discover and earn make you truly unique. Additionally, these enchantments are realm-wide once added to your collection. This means once you unlock a World-Forged enchantment, you can use it across all of your alts. World-Forged enchantments are tailored towards the type of content they're discovered in. You won't have to farm PvE content to unlock a powerful PvP enchantment, and vice versa. World-Forged enchantments imbue new life into your adventure in Azeroth. Do the content you enjoy, and you just might find a World-Forged enchantment that fits your playstyle.
Doubt it. Bring back food. Iris.
When adventuring throughout Azeroth, there are times when you need the right tool for the right job, where a certain spell or skill would help immensely. But in the past, you've been limited in your ability to pick up situational tools on Classless. You never had enough ability essence or ability gems to warrant spending them on spells and skills that you would only use in certain situations. This made gameplay feel linear. You always approached situations the same way, which lacked a lot of gameplay depth. You had to either pick up all the tools at the expense
of an MMO and an RPG. You do it in everything, even Elden Ring, Bloodborne, all that kind of shit. All the good games that are on console right now do the shit that you're complaining about. You have to learn how to counter shit, so then you can actually play the game. So let's see what they're going to do to fix this.
Desired class fantasy, or you had to sacrifice power to express class fantasy.
Yes.
On top of all of that, there was no way to anticipate what your opponent might do next, and you likely didn't have any options on how to approach new situations, even if you could. Introducing Masteries. Masteries allow you to unlock a bucket or category of spells and obtain more spells in that category without lowering your chance to get more rares. For example, this means by learning any Paladin seal, you unlock Seal Mastery. With Seal Mastery, future seals will only cost ability essences. You'll have the flexibility to take Seal of Righteousness, Wisdom, Light, and more to deal with different situations as they arise. Likewise, if you learn Hunter Aspect Mastery, you'll be able to learn aspects like Hawk, Beast, Cheetah, Pack, Monkey, Viper, and more without spending all of your rare ability gems. This allows you the freedom to take situational spells that you can make use of at the right time.
Blizz-like. So you're saying, oh yeah, the most classless version, most classless server realm we've ever done by adding in class limitations.
Could mean the difference between life and death. Masteries expand the ways that you can deal with unexpected challenges, unlocking your full potential and giving you exponentially more options to forge your hero. Seal Masteries, Aspect Masteries, Trap Masteries, Totem Masteries, Aura Masteries, and many more are available for you to unlock. In Season 8, you don't just have choice.
Because that would be really beneficial for Melee Hunter. So like Fire Trap, Explosive Shot, Auto Shoot.
How you build, but how you play. Masteries are just one of many changes to up your versatility. Talent Loadouts debut in Season 8. Talent Loadouts allow you to freely swap between different sets of talents. In Free Pick, you can use them to quickly swap between talent configurations during your raid, dungeon, or to switch between PvE and PvP without spending gold or using any resets. In Draft, you can use talent loadouts to utilize the same build in a variety of content. Whether it's dungeons, raids, battlegrounds, Mythic Plus, arena, or anything else, you can have a talent configuration for each, allowing you to fully leverage the potential of your current build. This gives you a clearer identity and also makes you more flexible. To unlock your talent loadouts, obtain a Tome of Talents. Using this scroll will unlock
what you're doing
the
is anyone who's built a character around playing one type of spec, and they have 8 specs, you're now going to say, oh yeah, all those specs you bought are no longer useful. Can I get a refund? No, because you probably spent the money on server hosting. Lovely.
Loadout for the specialization in your character advancement. This update allows you to express different dimensions of your build without unneeded friction in Draft and Free Pick. Stacking the deck with powerful cards is the thrill of Draft. It should be about discovering your build, knowing every great card is a step towards mastering fate,
Just
and
go
you
free
forcing
pick.
its hand with the cards you choose. But one of the biggest problems in Draft was that it discouraged you from picking epic or legendary cards if they weren't the absolute perfect fit for your build. Picking the shiniest card was often the wrong choice. This was unintuitive and it felt bad. Not anymore with epic and legendary card swaps. Card swaps have a chance to happen each time you draft an ability, whether you level up or use a Hand of Fate. When you get one, you can swap out one of your already known epic or legendary abilities for the one listed on the card swap. The more epic or legendary skills you know, the higher your chance of discovering a card swap. Now, you can finally learn epic and legendary skills because you know you'll be able to swap them out later if you want to. This works separately for each quality, and for each epic or legendary you collect, you increase your chance of discovering that rarity's card swap. Epic card swaps will offer you a chance to swap.
That's just too much info for something that's just free pick with extra steps. Where do we stop talking about free pick shit? Cut shit. Is this bit I want to watch?
8, you'll spend more time drafting your build than chit-chatting with Silas. This update ensures that you get a clear picture of when new Hands of Fate unlock, how many are available, the current cap, how many marks of Ascension you have, and what specialization you're in. In Season 8, sculpting your fate is clear and easy, and Silas can finally help you.
Have a great day now.
As a final draft change, lucky skill cards and guaranteed skill cards can no longer appear at the same time. It sucked having to choose between them when this happened, and now it just doesn't. Each of these draft changes are focused around smoother gameplay, removing unfortunate mechanical obstacles so that you can enjoy the time you spend playing. You unleash your potential through the abilities you choose, making them an integral part of your adventure. The skills you master unlock paths to greatness and make your hero uniquely yours. The more spells available, the more choice you have over how to express yourself on your adventure. Season 8 continues to expand the spells and abilities available on Ascension so that you can play the way you want. Burning rushes, healing rains, orbs, glaives, and more expand your choices and the ways you can realize your destiny and separate yourself from the masses. Some of these are core rotational abilities, meaning some all-new builds arrive with these spells, expanding the archetypes you're able to play, while giving new tools to existing archetypes. Unleashing your power means bending the elements to your will, from the spells you choose to the pets you tame. Your companion is your strength made manifest, and in Season 8, you'll be in your element. You can tame elementals, further expanding the ways that you can customize your hero. You can find Tether Elemental in the Shaman Elemental tree, and it works just the same as Tame Dragon, Shackle Undead, and Enslave Demon. Using it, you can tame dozens of different types of elementals. Harness fire, wind, earth, and water elementals, and even unique death, phoenix, and mojo elementals, each with their own unique abilities. With Season 8, the elements themselves are yours to unleash.
Please tell me they're each unique and give a certain buff.
Delving into dungeons and raids is a nostalgic experience for all heroes, and vanilla dungeons and raids are iconic, but their mechanics are outdated. They often add needless friction and can be a little boring. You want to truly conquer these dungeons and raids, and that means they need to be engaging. Ascension is replacing outdated vanilla mechanics with fresh changes in a new PvE rework. This PvE rework adds new mechanics and visuals to unleash the full potential of Azeroth's iconic dungeons and raids. This rework ensures that older encounters get modernized, making them more enjoyable, challenging, and rewarding. It also replaces tedium with challenge worthy of your classless champion. In Season 8, you'll spend more time facing challenges instead of running to them. You might even unlock these new spells as world-forged enchantments. No matter where you are in your adventure, if you're ready for a challenge, you should be able to find it. But in the past, there was a huge difficulty gap between heroic and ascended difficulties on Ascension. This caused many guilds to fall apart and fail to bridge the gap. Mythic raids are a brand new raid difficulty that fills the gap between heroic and ascended. Mythic raids will be—
There was a bigger gap between normal and heroic. Just gonna put that out there. You can do ascended in heroic gear, but you can't do heroic in dungeon gear. Most of the time. Depends on the group.
flexible between 10 and 25 players, letting you face the challenge with your allies no matter how many you have. Additionally, Ascended raids also become flexible between 10 and 25 players. In the past, a lack of flexible raiding prevented people from playing with their guild, because no one wants to bench people on their roster, and no one wants a raid to be destroyed just because one DPS couldn't show. New raid releases will still maintain the integrity of Realm Firsts by requiring Ascended raids to still be completed at either 10 or 25-man difficulty, despite their new flexibility. This update ensures that there's a challenge suitable for you and any number of allies.
Why don't you just make it on release that you have to do 10 or 25, and then after that's been finished, put flex in. Go, oh, this has been done. Here you go, you can now do flex. Make sense now?
Your journey to the top. Raids allow you to come together with your friends and allies to accomplish something great.
Friends is a strong word.
When you see a raid start up, you don't want to have to miss out on it just because you've already cleared it.
Don't mess around with locks.
You want to raid with your friends whenever you can, especially when they could really use your help. Introducing Boss Binding. Boss Binding replaces the old instant lockout system, allowing heroes to be saved to bosses they've killed that week rather than the raid itself. This new lockout gives you the flexibility to raid whenever you want. You can jump into any group at any time and get in on the action. Even if you've already obtained loot from a boss, you can still get additional marks, runes, and orbs, and you'll still get loot from any bosses you haven't been bound to yet. With Boss Binding, it's no longer a massive deterrent to jump into the middle of a raid in progress, because you won't be bound to the bosses that raid has already cleared. And even if you've already killed some of the bosses that week, you can participate knowing you'll be rewarded for your triumph. Additionally, you won't have to worry that a group falling apart ruins your chances of raiding for the week. This serves as incentive to give more groups a shot, letting everyone raid with confidence. In Season 8, boss bindings will apply to normal, heroic, and mythic difficulties. This update ensures you get to jump into any raid with whoever you want, whenever you want, allowing you to fully enjoy your adventure.
So this is just going to encourage people to be dicks in a raid to get kicked so they can come back and do a raid with someone else. I see the reason why they're doing it, but I much prefer raid lockouts, like IDs. Because then you do that whole raid, done. Because now this will get people to do other raids and then miss out on guild shit. Now, if you're running a guild, this thing is bad. Because now people will do raids throughout the week, right, and get burnt out faster because they're doing more raids. Or they're going to show up to your raid and not get any loot and then complain about not getting loot. It's not my problem you decided to raid because Ascension added this system.
Having a clear UI makes engaging in activities enjoyable and simple. You want to fight monsters, not a menu. In Season 8, both the Transmog UI and Trade Skill window receive big updates to improve both clarity and function. Looking how you want is a huge part of your class fantasy. However, the Ascension Transmog UI is horrendously outdated. You can't store an infinite number of sets, and you have to keep items you want to save in your bags or in your bank if you want to use them in new outfits. Not anymore. Introducing the new Transmog UI. With the new Transmog UI, you can quickly browse, select, and apply transmogrification to your gear quick and easy. It also allows for new additions to the Transmog system. This new UI automatically unlocks items that you equip, letting you access them anytime you want and expanding your collection. You can browse all of your favorite cosmetics in the new UI, mixing and matching them to create your ideal outfit and solidifying your class fantasy.
Like 10 years
Like the Transmog UI, the Trade Skill window was terribly outdated. In Season 8, this essential UI receives new functionality to make crafting easier and more modern. It now includes a search and filter options to locate recipes a lot easier, and a new crafting queue option allows you to create multiple different items with a single click, letting you queue up various craftables to craft in order. Additionally, you can also use the UI to view unlearned recipes and receive hints as to their source location, helping you find recipes you need. Finally, the new Trade Skill UI also allows you to quickly find out what you can make with the items you have in your bags. Right-click an item, and you'll see all recipes that require it as an ingredient. If at any point you decide the UI isn't for you, you can easily swap back with add-ons. These new UIs make crafting and transmogrifying clear and simple, so you can craft easily, look good, and continue with your adventure. Tab targeting is a huge part of how you play and fight in WoW, but different heroes have different expectations for what tab targeting should do. With Season 8, you can now customize tab targeting to your liking. With some new options, you can customize tab targeting to prioritize enemies that you're facing, prioritize enemies you're in combat with, change the max target range, and change the max target angle. These customization additions let you mold tab targeting to be more responsive to your individual playstyle.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm going to clap that.
Seasons are massive adventures, and Season 8 is Ascension's biggest adventure yet. The season will be packed with content, with more coming as the season goes on. New spells, new world-forged enchantments, new archetypes, new game modes, updates to existing game modes, new craftables, and new ways to explore Azeroth are only part of what this season offers. You deserve seasons with the potential for enormous game-changing updates. But in past seasons, there was no good time to introduce these big updates without being disruptive. Season 8 is going to keep getting better through big updates and massive changes throughout the entire season. The biggest question is when to do it without being disruptive to your experience. Introducing chapters. Chapters are exciting points in the season where massive change can be expected. Each chapter will have a video of its own explaining all of its upcoming features. Chapters give you a clear timeline to expect and plan for major changes, new content, and a big boost in population, so that during each chapter, you'll know what to expect. Essentially, a chapter is a secured block of time that protects your investment. You can invest in your journey, knowing everything isn't going to change on a whim. Then, as a new chapter approaches, you can use the video update to plan for changes and prepare for the next step of your journey. When a video releases, the website timeline will update with all of the upcoming content. Season 8 unleashes 4 epic chapters.
Sorry, the fact that they're going to update the timeline is a joke. I'm pretty sure the TBC one still says we haven't had Karazhan out. like, they just don't update it.
Throughout its timeline. These introduce massive changes, shake things up, and keep the adventure thriving. As the season continues, new chapters unfold, bringing with it new tiers of content, additional expansions, and more updates than ever before.
So we've got 2 chapters for vanilla and 2 for TBC?
In Season 8, each chapter offers a new opportunity to jump back in and conquer the season. Every chapter brings new content and exclusive seasonal items to keep the adventure exciting. With each chapter, you'll tackle brand new content, claiming seasonal achievements which unlock exclusive items. These achievements are unique to each chapter. If you don't complete them before the end, they're gone, and the rewards with them. If you do manage to complete these achievements, you'll get points to spend on exclusive rewards. Complete achievements, get points, and claim your rewards. In Season 8, each chapter is its own adventure, complete with unique challenges to overcome. You can find the seasonal tab right here in your character advancement UI. And what's more, this season, you get to share these achievements and more between all of your characters.
But whatever.
The friends you make, the reputations you earn, and achievements you unlock are yours. You should have access to them on all of your characters, and you don't need to be bound by system limitations. Whether you spent the time to make friends with furbolgs or achieve that sweet Realm First Hogger, those accomplishments shouldn't disappear just because you're on a new character. So why can't you show them off? Introducing the Realmwide update. The Realmwide update makes 3 important features completely realm-wide, so you can benefit from them across any character. Realm-wide achievements, realm-wide reputations, and a realm-wide friends list. With realm-wide achievements, you can now collect and show off achievements across multiple characters.
Awesome.
Heroes interested in collecting accolades across multiple seasons and throughout multiple characters will be able to show them off on core realms. Achievements are now realm-wide. Just like achievements, the work you put into gaining reputation shouldn't be bound to your character. On Ascension, if you put in the effort to reach Exalted, you'll now have it across all characters you make on that realm. Heroes who pursue reputation accumulation can now rest assured that their time and efforts will persist across all characters they create. You won't have to farm long reputations to get that one upgrade you need to be viable on your ults. With realm-wide reputations, reputations are more meaningful to gain. Completing a reputation is now a milestone worth pursuing. When you make a friend, it's your friend, not your character's
This is the
friend.
issue I have a problem with.
It's too easy to lose the friends you've played with when one of you jumps on another character. So, friends lists are now realm-wide. With a realm-wide friends list, you have access to your friends list no matter which character you log into. You'll know if your buddy that you just ran Deadmines with hopped on another alt so you can ask them to play again. With realm-wide updates, your fun, progress, and experience is no longer limited by the character you're on. So jump out and explore the world.
Promotion, I like it.
High Risk has been with...
But bit of critique. If my alts now lose all the friends list that they have, because my mains got put on my alts, that's shitty. It should be pushed. Every single character should have their friends list pushed to a system, pushed to a list that is separate from each of the individual characters, right? And then that is everyone's friends list, and you just copy it. Don't make me re-add friends that I haven't played for 6 years.
Ascension from the beginning. By its nature, it's gone through many incarnations. Season 7 Burning Crusade was the best iteration of High Risk to date. Venturing into the unknown, slaying notorious monsters, looting hidden chests and monster nests, gathering materials, and making valuable craftables to either help your guild or sell for a hefty profit was what made TBC High Risk engaging.
And then you had gold
All of this happened while engaged in adrenaline-filled PvP combat. This became the lifeblood of High Risk. High Risk in Season 7 Chapter 2 saw more heroes than ever before exploring and fighting in the High Risk open world. In Season 8, Vanilla is getting the overhaul from TBC and more. High Risk is being tailored to the various types of heroes who want to venture into it, and making more sense of the systems introduced in Season 7. Mercenary is a new mode that replaces much of the outlaw system and allows you to play with your friends regardless of faction and experience everything High Risk Azeroth has to offer. You can freely toggle between your faction or mercenary mode at any time in a capital city. Keep in mind, however, that killing your own faction still gives you criminal intent, making you hostile to NPCs of the same faction. In Season 8, tier zones transform to more accurately reflect a better balance of higher risk and higher reward. You'll be able to obtain all materials in when you kill an enemy in a Tier 1 zone, and they're the only way. Where you go, there will be worthy challengers present. Winterspring is a 1v1 honorable combat zone, and Silithus is a group. Sanguine material are a base
Is that it? I don't do PvP.
Marked on the map and are obtainable even if the event isn't active. Finally, demon materials are obtained from notorious monsters and in meaning you'll have to escape your pursuers and make it back to chance to drop. Meaning if someone finds you, it might just be the end of your treasure. However, even if you do lose it, keep in mind that that chest's looter will now inherit your no retreat as well, giving you ample opportunity to chase him down and steal it back. If you can successfully grab the chest and return to a city, the spoils are yours to keep. To unlock a Bloodbound chest, you'll need to upgrade your cache key with a Bloody Essence. Bloody Essences are a material dropped only from monsters in the heroic Bloodforged gear within. Bloodbound chests give heroes a clear path of thousands of adventurers.
Well, that's it. So, not an amazing update. A lot of things are shitty. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share the video. I won't be posting this in the Ascension Discord because it's going to get ripped to shit. Or I'm going to get a comment from the staff members because that's what happens. But anyway, see you guys later. See ya.